I really don't know why this slide is showing that way. Okay, all right. If we cannot see it, that's fine. Okay, so let's talk about LLM. I would like to break down the LLM to what people, almost everyone here, can understand. I call LLM, I call it the smart parrot, because it reads everything, it understands nothing, and I can proudly tell you that LLMs are very confident liars. Do you guys agree with me? All right, let me put it in context so you guys can. And if this context, you can relate with it, I think you guys should clap for me. If you don't, I will send everyone out. Now listen to this. Do you know in that your street, a newspaper stand? Okay, yeah, sorry. Now back to this. I said, on your streets, do you guys have newspaper stands? Who knows about newspaper stands? When you get to every newspaper stand, there's always one uncle there that knows everything. Am I lying? Ask about the universe, he knows it. Ask about football. Yes, now, he will tell you about 1960 when something happened. Ask about any topic in this life, he knows it. But then, you ask that uncle, how did you know about this? Where did you get the information? He will tell you, I go lie for you. Can you relate? Can you relate to the I go lie for you pattern? So now, that uncle right there, that is LLM. It has all the information. He knows about this, but he cannot prove it. So sometimes, it will give you some information. Sometimes it will tell you that, yes, now me and Fela, we grew up together. We went to the same secondary school. But he will tell you accurately what happened, what Fela did then. But did he go to secondary school with Fela? If you ask him, you say, I go lie for you. I think I want my round of applause right now. Now you guys are coming. You guys are coming online. You guys are active. So yeah, let's clock it. Anyways, now, like I said, LLM, ChatGPT, for example, or whatever you want to say, it's a parrot with PhD. A parrot that cho, but it has PhD in the cho. So that's why it says things confidently. Now, the next slide, please. Let's talk about the next slide, which is what we've all been hearing, hallucination. Good. Hallucination, it guesses when it doesn't know, because it does what? It wants to please you. That is why when you talk to some AI agent or some chats bots, as people call it, if you ask it that, let's say you're asking a question concerning your company that, how many leave days do I have? And what can I do with my leave days? You will see some AI will give you a response because it wants to please you. Say that, yes, you have 6 months of leave days, and you can go to Dubai to celebrate. But is that true? Why is it telling you that? Because he saw an information somewhere where someone said, I have 6 months leave days, and I can go to Dubai to chill. That is why some people feel like, because they've seen an information in AI, they feel like they know so much about law. But we've seen some people that have landed in Kirikiri because of the fact that they trusted whatever ChatGPT gave them. Can you relate? I think I deserve another round of applause. Nah. All right, you guys are coming online, that's good. All right, so it's not about trying to lie. What it's doing at that point in time is just freestyling. And the hallucination, I call it the audio intelligence. From the word audio what? Audio what? No, that audio intelligence, I coined it from the word audio. But when someone tells you, I will give you money, and that person later, shank you, that's what audio money. Same way, this guy confidently will tell you that I will give you this information, but he was giving you audio intelligence at that point. Moving on. Now, let's now talk about another key point that you must have been hearing from people. You must have been hearing the word RAG. How many of you understand what RAG means? Oh, man. All right, let's do this. RAG, I don't have time to be telling you that RAG, retrieval augmented, blah, 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 blah. I will just tell you in layman word. What I call RAG, I wrote something here, which is what people use to fine-tune or to fix the LLM. That uncle that knows everything, but it's not like he really knows things. what are we going to do to him? Are we going to send our uncle to school? No. That's because it's too late to send our uncle to school. That is where RAG comes in. So what RAG does is that it's like an open book exam. It's expo. Imagine you going for an exam before with you as an LLM. See yourself as an LLM. You are going for an exam, but you know so well that this question, you don't know it. What are you going to do? Someone made an example the other time that if you go for an interview and the interview is for a billion naira, that's the salary. And the final question is for you to do something or to explain something, but you know so well that you don't know that. At that point in time, what do? You start fabricating things. Because as Nigerians, we know they carry last. You have to say something, right? So that's what LLM would do. But with RAG, when you fine-tune your data and you feed your data with RAG, it's like an open book. You are in an exam, then they give you a textbook, bam. These are the solutions to that exam. Then they give you a question that, who is the chairman of NSCDC? Then you do what? You open it. Some people could not get that joke. Are you guys all Gen Z here? What's going on? Anyways, let's leave that. Anyways, with RAG, what it does is that you open the book, then you go, you see this page that talks about that question, then you read it out verbally. That is what RAG does for you. So now, do you guys understand the difference between LLM and RAG right now? Is that well? Did I explain it very well? If I did, say I did justice. Can you say justice? Yeah, thank you, my children. Anyways, so like standard LLM, what it does, like I said, is that it will just memorize like a standard textbook and it starts spitting things. But with RAG, what you do is that you are pointing it to the right direction. No. When you want to get this information, go to this side. All these things I'm saying, they are not just audio information. We are going to see it in action live. So moving on. I'm sorry, I was clicking. I didn't know that you guys were still stuck in that first one. Sorry. So, well, let's talk about the solution. What is the solution that we can actually use to bridge the gap between LLM and RAG? It's what I call the Edge AI. Now, but with this Edge AI, and the reason why Edge AI is a solution to so many things is that in Nigeria, for example, using Nigeria as a use case, we've got a whole lot of problem. We've got problem with computing power, we've got problem with costs, we've got problem with data, and when I say data, I mean internet data. And we've got problem with incomplete data set as well. So there are so many problems that we've got in Nigeria. And because of this problem, it's easier for someone that is, let's say, in the US to pay for, let's say, a Gemini subscription every month to get things done. It's easier for someone that is in Australia to say that, yes, I want to pay for GPU or whatever. That's because that person is spending hard currency. They pay them per hour over there. But you as a Nigerian, minimum wage is 70K plus. So, and if you convert that 70K plus to dollars, you know how much that's going to get. So please tell me, would you be able to afford a ChatGPT subscription on a monthly basis? But when you know that you cannot afford, did I get an answer? Can you afford it? Or let's say as a student, you've got your laptop, but at the same time, you've got your laptop, but at the same time, you want to access some kind of information because you need some data. So at that point in time, do you think your pocket money that you're being given can give you a subscription on Gemini or not? No, it cannot. So that's why the solution to, one of the solutions to what we have as a problem in Nigeria is Edge AI, or what some people call the localized AI. So now, what this does is that once you download, you download a model locally on your system. You can run it on any system, which is what we are going to try now. As you can see, my laptop is in airplane mode, so I'm not connected to the internet, but we'll try to run a local model on my machine. And when we run that local model, you see how everything works. We're going to prompt it, we ask it questions, and it's going to give answers from our local data. And this same thing, the code will be available, don't worry. I will share the code, I'll share the slide and everything. It's something you can also replicate. You can build on it. You can even start a startup from it, who knows? I think I deserve a thank you. All right, let's move on to the next one. So, but talking about Edge AI again, I would expect some people to ask me some questions. One of those questions is the fact that I'm using a laptop, a small laptop. Will it be able to process all those things? Yes, don't worry, I thought about that before. And when I was doing this demo, I faced some issues which I would expect you to have faced, if not for the fact that I fixed it and I fixed it. So the problem is that standard models are too heavy for your CPUs. Don't worry. I have a very strong CPU on my laptop. My laptop is super strong. But at the same time, I use some models, some heavy models, and my laptop was still struggling a little bit. And that's why for out there, your ChatGPT, your DeepSeek, etc., they process on deep and big GPUs. But that's aside. Now, the initial one I did the demo and everything, but it took about 2 minutes to load because my laptop CPU could not carry it. And I'm betting it with you, some people here, not like I'm trying to insult or something, if you attempt that same one that I did before on your laptop, it might take up to 10 minutes to load. Then you see that, is that a solution that you really want to build? What's all that? But that is why I introduced another model, which I will show you, which is the fix, which is Edge AI, the model with Hugging Face by LangChain. So using Hugging Face by LangChain, it's actually a much more smaller model that could run. So this runs in pretty much some seconds, depending on how complex what you are doing is. So by the time I see that, you guys can actually extend it. If you want me, you can open source it and you guys start doing and flexing around with it. So can we move on to the next slide, please? So I think at this point in time, we would do the live demo. Are you guys ready for the live demo? Are you guys ready for the live demo? If you know you are ready, say yes. You guys are not giving me the vibe. If you say you are ready, say clock it. I'm sorry, I just said that clock it. The thing sweets me. So, anyways, can I get you guys to show my screen instead? The VS Code screen, please. VS Code screen. Technology. Okay. Apologies once again. But at this point, I will just run through the code. I will run the code, then I will show you what happens on the front end. Then you guys can go and do the rest later. All right, this is the code. I know it's pretty small. But anyways, what we are going to be doing, I created a folder, I called it the data folder. In that folder, I have 3 documents in it. One, I wrote company policy. If I open the company policy, it's just the text file that I wrote something about time, that the closing time, official closing time is 5 p.m. or so. That was the only thing I wrote there, to show you that you can put in your own data. Second thing I did was I went online, I just searched for UBA times. Then I brought UBA times, I downloaded it, the times, the PDF file. And third thing I did was, I went to Unilag website, I took the e-learning policy or something, I took the documents, I downloaded it. Because I know there are some students here and you guys will be able to relate much more with that. So I got those 3 files in my system. And this should give you an idea of what you can actually do with this. So what that means is that there are some questions you are going to ask ChatGPT because that thing is peculiar to you. Like Madam Debo did with Carbon AI. Carbon AI is solving a problem that ChatGPT could not solve, even though ChatGPT sounds intelligent. But Carbon AI was able to solve it on the other side. So same way here, let's say you have some data, especially maybe in government, or do you understand? We have some data that it's not to be accessed on the internet because you don't want to open it. So you want to run it in an intranet within just some group of people or within just your intranet in your organization. This would definitely come handy. All you just need to do is to load the file and everything. In the code, I'm already checking for extensions and everything. So right now I'm checking for .pdf and .text. You can add as many files as possible and everything. So all this one there, I built my vector score, I loaded documents and the likes. I did one other thing here. I added a cache here, such that when you load a document once, it saves a copy of that, not copy, it saves the vector of that particular document. So that means that if someone else wants to load that, it doesn't need to go and load the document once again, which will make your system slow. The document will be loaded once and it will save it in cache until you have, let's say you have another document. I've added something like a button whereby you can say refresh this and it picks the document afresh. So without wasting much of our time, so this adjust the code and everything. Like I said, I will share that. So I will run this. And by the way, like I said, this is running. Oh man, this is running on my local. I think because I clicked on the enter, it's switched my screen. Oh crap. Yes. So right now, I'm using Streamlit. Have you guys heard of Streamlit before? You guys have used Streamlit before. Oh, you guys are geeks. So just 1 minute, I will soon be done. So it's trying to load the page for me. And right now, this is where I said, if you click on this part, it's going to rebuild the knowledge base for you. So, and this is powered by the Llama model, and this is local execution offline capable. So I have this box here. I just need to type something, but I have something that I've typed before. So I said, draft a warning memo to students, interns, state the official closing time according to our internal company policy, state the maximum plagiarism score, blah, 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 and the official closing time. So I wrote some things. So at this point, I just click on enter. I think because this is the first time, oh God. Yeah, because I clicked on enter, I switched again. So this is drafting it, it's processing it. I just want this to bring up what it will show you guys, and everything offline locally on my system. So once we see the results, then we can end the session. Are you guys okay with that? All right, let's see what happens. So at this point, it's just processing the data and everything. So what it does is that it reads all the documents based on the prompt I gave it, that I should write a warning memo, etc., like an email. So it reads all the documents available that I have there. Then it extracts keywords there and uses that to form an email, all done locally. So this is something that you can always replicate in your environment. I think my own system too is taking its own time. 1 minute. 1 minute is too much. Yeah. Yeah. Give me 30. Oh my goodness. Oh God of demo. I'm about to be embarrassed right now. Okay. Let me just check something. Yeah, so instructions on how to run this in the README of the code base as well, so that you guys can actually run this locally yourself. But I promise you, it doesn't get slow like this on a normal day. It will work for my laptop. With that, thank you very much for your time, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that.
In fact, I will leave this here until it works.
So it's like, you come and do this MC work, oh. You are too good. So your laptop. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Building Public. I don't know why you're going back to your seats, because you're still coming back here. Please just...
Sorry, it's here. Thank you, my response is here. Can you see? Very nice email. I have to take my stand now, come on. Can you see it? Very nice one there, students. I don't need to read this. Please give me a round of applause now. All right, thank you guys, So, oh, sorry, you want to? Can you see it now? Namiro now. In case they remove me from the picture later and say, all right, thank you.
All right, thank you. What an interesting session. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope our notes are full, and if they are, please ask for extra sheets, because we're just getting started. We're moving to the next panel session. This is our theme panel session, where we move from policy into practice. This session will take a technical deep dive into how large language models, retrieval augmented generation, and agentic AI are being built and deployed in real-world contexts, especially for African use cases. So I'm going to be bringing up my speakers in a moment, but we have a mix of strong AI founders, researchers, engineers, and product builders joining this conversation. Some we've heard from, but first off, we have Mr. Building Public. Please, I told you not to go back to your seats. Please join us back on stage. Please put your hands together for Mr. Gabriel as he takes his seat. Okay, next up we have Victor Ogumbi, the founder and CEO Dawn AI Study. Please can we have Mr. Victor Ogumbi on stage? Please put your hands together for Mr. Victor. Good. Great. The next speaker joining us is Dr. Sekinat Folorenshaw, an Associate Professor of AI Systems at Olabisi Onabanjo University. Please put your hands together. Be very generous again with your applause. Thank you, ma'am. She hasn't taken her seat yet. Why did you stop clapping? Okay, up next is Michael Adetoro, an AI engineer experienced in designing and deploying intelligent systems that transform data into real-world decisions. Please put your hands together for him. Now we have Oladimeji Antonio, an AI researcher and innovator transforming public health nutrition into machine learning and data science. Are we tired of clapping? Don't be tired. You've eaten small chops. Come on. Okay, he's not available. That's absolutely fine. So moderating this particular panel session is, for the second time, is Segun Salami. Please put your hands together for him. This panel session promises to be power-packed. Please take notes and get your questions ready.
Good afternoon once again. Testing microphone 1 2. Good afternoon once again. So another quick backstory, right? When I knew I was going to be moderating this session, I went to look up the profiles of my speakers on this panel. I saw people have PhD, doctorate degrees in it's like I've entered inside artificial intelligence. So this is the best seat in the house. So, like I said earlier, this is going to be a bit more technical for my engineers, my developers, my founders. This is the time to jot things down. Good afternoon, my speakers. Good afternoon. So, I have a question for Dr. Sekinat, an associate professor in AI systems. So from an academic lens, where do startups misuse language models?
Hi, hello everyone. Now to start with, I am very academic, so I'm sorry that I'm going to be speaking right from that lens. One very short thing that I feel that startup misuse, when they start misusing this LLM is they have this strict and absolute belief in everything that it does. Sometimes you forget that it hallucinates and it takes you off track. So if you are not well grounded in that area, you could also be thrown off guard. And trust me, LLMs, they also know when they go off guard, because when you tell them that, wow, you made a mistake, that is not true. What's the next thing they will tell you? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You try to retrace a step back. Still, if you are not grounded, then maybe you get thrown off guard. Then another thing is we forget about contextualization, which I think is something that is very, very important for everyone that uses AI, because in this time, I think that AI should be localized, should be domesticated wherever you live. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So this question is for the founder of Burlux. As a founder, how do you decide between open source models and APIs?
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I guess we're still in the afternoon, right? Depends on the scope of what needs to be done, right? recently at Bollocks, we're working on a solution for the fashion industry where you seated right away can take your pictures, then get your measurements for the clothes you need to sew. For example, you're a fashion designer and you have remote customers, right? So to achieve that, building from scratch is a whole lot of work. You talk about getting thousands, hundreds of thousands of images, labeling them, training a model on those images, then to get your result, right? But using open source model, images that have been trained on, models that have been trained on certain images would help you get the job done faster, or at least you get to ship to the market faster, right? There's MediaPipe, there's OpenPost by Google, some open source models that you can use to get your work done. So it depends on the scope of what you want to do, one. It also depends on how much control you want over what you're doing. So if what I'm building, I want entire control over it, I want to dictate what is, what shouldn't be, how things should be done, I get to build by myself, locking on, use API systems and unlocking on that note. But once, because open source is open to the public, that's the difference between Apple and other operating system, right? They get to design things how they want it to be, how they want it to function, and how they want it to satisfy their end users. Do you get? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. To my new tech founder, how do engineers context in learning focus for AI systems? How do engineers context in learning focus for AI systems?
Well, you already answered the question. I'd say it depends on what you want to do. E-learning is quite broad. So it depends on what you want to do, the goal you're trying to achieve. So one thing they need to take really important is data, right? Because you are if it's K-12 learner right now, let me niche it down for K-12 learners. We are dealing with kids, right? And maybe you want to develop a mobile applications. You must be really sensitive as an engineer to know the kind of data you are training that app on. You don't want, we've seen some, there was an issue that arose, right? I think the US market also, that some kids were playing game and some ads or some stuff was popping up that it's not suitable for their age. All right, so you need to take into ethics. Ethics has to be, it's very important. Some people just build app, they won't even do Q&A. They won't pre-process or fine-tune that data. They just push it out there. You need to understand that these are kids, right, that will use these applications. If you are building for an adult as well in education, know the kind of data you are using as an engineer. Don't just use, even if you're using RAG model, right, still check it. Take your time. That's just it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Gabriel, what does RAG become technical? When does RAG become technical? Should I take the question again? When does RAG become technical? RAG technical depth.
All right. Hi everyone again. So I think your RAG becomes a technical depth when you have something I called a vectorized dumpster. I'll take that again. Your RAG becomes a technical depth when you have a vectorized dumpster. So to just break that down, what does vectorized dumpster means? It means that you are dumping messy data into your vectorized database. Do you understand? So from messy PDFs to